Fair.
I kind of believe that that's a narcissistic point of view, but yeah,
Why is it narcissistic?
Because, like I said, times are changing.
Let's get our terms right. What is a narcissist?
A man who just
a man.
a man.
A man?
Yeah,
A man.
literally, a man who is just delusional. Honestly,
A man who is delusional.
Narcissist.
Yes.
You don't think it's delusional for a worker to expect that she's going to get Prince Charming?
I personally don't ever expect to find Prince Charming.
Sure.
I've kind of accepted that I will be
I think
alone because of the
Well,
decisions
I don't
I've
understand.
made
What would the delusion here be?
as a narcissist.
No, what would the delusion here be by telling your son not to date a sex worker under any circumstances, even if you loved her?
If that's your opinion as a father, I don't think that's delusional.
Then
That's
why
not
would it be
what
narcissistic?
I didn't say that was narcissistic.
Well, then what's the narcissistic part?
Okay, bring it back. When did I say the narcissism? What were you talking
When
about?
I said that you shouldn't, if I said I would tell my son under no circumstances should you date a sex worker ever, period. You said that sounds narcissistic. Mm-hmm. What about that's narcissistic? If narcissism means delusional.
Okay, and I will say again, because I think that times are changing, and I think that you guys need to like broaden your horizon.
Sure, I get all that, but what about this is narcissism?
It sounds like you guys are wanting to own a woman
Yeah, but what about that would be narcissism?
because you can't own a woman. A woman's gonna be able to still have free will,
I'm sorry, there's places in the world where people clearly own women, right?
and that's crazy.
But it's not delusional.
That is delusional.
No, they clearly own them. There's no delusion there.
That's fucked up.
Maybe it's fucked up, and I agree with you, it's fucked up, but it's not delusional.
That is delusional.
What's the
What?
delusion? Do you
That's
agree that they
narcissism,
own the woman?
Delusional. That's evil.
It's evil. Yes, it's evil. It's wrong. It's immoral, but it's not delusional. Delusional is it's an untruth. It's
so-
not true.
Listen very carefully. Listen
You're not
carefully.
listening.
Listen
To
carefully.
you, it feels like delusional.
Yeah,
like,
but you're
you
not
can't believe
because you're not
that's real.
listening, right? You got to listen to what's
I'm
actually being
listening.
said.
Listen to the words.
Don't tell me I'm not listening when I am. But go on.
Oh, okay. You're
Okay.
listening?
Yeah.
Human beings can't own each other and have never been able to?
Ooh.
He's not saying should.
Hang on.
He's not saying should.
Have they been able to?
Sadly.
Sadly, they have, right? So if I acknowledge that that is true, isn't that the opposite of delusion?
But I'm saying that I think that it's delusional that that is a thing. To
Okay.
own someone, and
hang
that
on,
it
hang on.
was- Okay. Okay.
I'm not giving a moral prescription here and saying it's right. I'm just saying that it happens. So I still don't understand how it's delusional to acknowledge that there are people right now, men right now, who own women.
Well, I don't think it's delusional to know that. I'm
You're right,
saying that,
right.
that they're delusional for owning women. That's
Yeah,
what I'm trying to
okay,
say.
but how? Where's the delusion there? They own the woman. Right? What's the delusion?
All of it. It's
What do you mean
it's
by delusion?
immoral.
Can you-
Well, yeah.
It's
What does
like-
delusion mean here?
It's a definition thing. It's not.
Yeah, what do you mean by delusion?
Delusion to me means not true. You
Okay.
living something that's not true, and you believe it is true.
Okay, then yeah, I'm
She's
using
just saying those guys
delusional
are
in the
cuckoo.
wrong way.
Yeah, okay. Maybe they're crazy and it's immoral and it's
Okay,
fucking
yes,
evil
yeah.
and all that. Like, I'm not disputing any of that. But if narcissism means delusional, I'm trying to get to the part where it's delusional here. Like, where's the delusion?
In
When
being
I
narcissist?
say don't date a sex worker, what's the delusion here? Like you have to? Or I don't know what the delusion is.
Okay, then I'm not using delusion in the right terms.
Or
then, yeah.
narcissism, maybe.
Narcissism.
So maybe me and you can agree on some other things, right? So
Okay.
maybe narcissism is, I would say, it's an antisocial behavior, which is extraordinarily rare,
Okay.
like super duper rare. And even people who diagnose it get it wrong often and claim that they get it wrong often, right? Because there's no specific criteria where you could meet all the criteria and still not be that thing. So it's a very hard like diagnosis, right? I've talked to various doctors, medical professionals who've explained this multiple times to me on my program, right? It's a very, very difficult diagnosis. So when people use the term narcissist, I just want to know, does that just mean you're an asshole? Is that what really what we're
It's-
saying is like narcissist just means he's a fucking asshole?
No, just like in my experience with dealing with a narcissist, just someone who thinks that they can do whatever they want, walk over women,
Sure.
treat women however they want.
Yeah, but why is any of that narcissistic?
No empathy. They don't feel empathy.
Sure, you can meet all those
So
criteria,
they're
though.
lying,
You could be a
they're
person who
manipulative.
chronically lies, is very egotistical, right? Believes that you're better than everybody around you, and still not meet the criteria for being a narcissist.
What's a narcissist then? Like
It's
the
very
definition?
difficult. It's a very nebulous term, just like most of these psychological diagnoses, right? Psychopathy, for instance, doesn't even exist. It doesn't even exist. There's no such thing as a psychopath. There's no actual diagnosis for a psychopath anywhere in the DSM. Never has been.
Well, I'm just thinking of certain people in my life, and it's just like you're telling me this. Then what are they? Are they
Maybe
just
narcissistic
assholes?
tendencies.
That's what I think. I think that when they say narcissist, they just fucking mean asshole. Right? Just
or like
an asshole.
have narcissistic tendencies. Like
Yeah,
not
but what does
full.
that mean? So again, it's such a nebulous term that has so many different criteria, which it can or can't be, that I'm always very, very skeptical when somebody says narcissist, because I'm not even really sure what it means.
Okay, well,
Doesn't it also mean like somebody with a fake ego?
Could
or like
be.
somebody who like hypes himself up, and to the
Sure.
world they seem like this person on this moral high ground, but they treat the people closest to them like crap.
Could be. All those could be criteria for that, or you could meet all of those criteria and still not be it. That's the why I think it's nebulous.
Same with a
right?
lot of these diagnoses.
Same with a lot of these diagnoses. So because of that, I'm always very cautious about calling somebody a narcissist or a psychopath or things like this. I tend to use like lunatic, but I use it as a broad scope term to just mean you're a fucking weirdo, right?
Yeah, I
not
don't
as
throw
an
those words
actual
around.
like I've diagnosed you with
Yeah.
lunacy. So but back to this. I don't think it's delusional to say to a my son, never date a sex worker. No, or a daughter, right?
Yeah.
Like never date a sex worker,
no,
no matter
you're right.
what.
It's not delusional.
Yeah,
to
it's
tell
not
your
delusional.
child that, no.
So there's no problem with me saying that, right? There's no like objection you would have to saying that.
As long
But I
as
think
you-
that's the advice a lot of dads are going to give their kids.
Yeah, on any parent, I'm sure, would say that to
Yeah.
their child.
Yeah.
Just like don't date a drug dealer, or like
Sure.
Yeah.
you know, like it's just you're looking out. You're looking out.
Yeah, it's a
and that's-
nefarious
that's fine
posi-
as long as you don't drop them and say that you don't like your kid, or like you like no longer want to associate with your kid just because they, follow through with it. You
What
know,
would be wrong with that?
Yeah.
you
Like if your kid
raised that kid.
Yeah, but if your kid became a sex
you don't love
worker-
your, that say you don't love your kid without
And
saying
that's
you
not.
don't love your kid.
Those are two
you know?
different things.
What?
Disassociating from a child doesn't mean you don't love them.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying like you tell them, no, I do not like you anymore. You are out of my life forever.
Yeah, you can exclude them from your life forever. Doesn't mean you don't love them.
Well, I'm saying they told you they don't love you.
Yeah, well, that's
Like,
different,
that's
right?
What I'm saying is
so if you
messed
just
up.
directly
That's
say to
the
someone, "I
only-
don't love you," yeah, I think
Exactly,
that there's
that's
a
the only
distinction.
thing.
Sure.
That's the only thing I would think that would make that situation.
Yeah, I'll
not
grant
good.
that distinction, right? I just don't think that that's what happens. I think that parents tend to distance themselves from kids who do horrible things. They don't
Yeah, for
want
sure.
they don't want that association with their family. That seems fair to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I just
They're
think
like,
with
you're
sex
bad
workers,
news. You're
it's
a
just
problem.
not that deep.
You're doing problematic things, and I don't want the association with my family name, right?
Yeah, that's
I-
totally fine.
Seems
I
reasonable.
get that.
Yeah, I think it's reasonable to want the best for your child. It's also important to consider that there are societal norms in like the state you're in, the continent, etc. And every family has different dynamics and different expectations for their children. So it's like totally, valid to not want your child to
If
do
that's
something
true,
like that.
then why would you ever say the universal word better? Like, it's okay to want what's better for your kid. If that just means a ton of different things to a ton of different people, right? Then I don't know what we're even talking about when we say better. I would think that we would agree on some things with better. So here's maybe some universal agreements for better that you and I can agree to. I want my kid to be really healthy. Healthier than me.
Do I say yes every time?
Well, I'm just asking you.
agree.
Do you agree that that's better?
Yes.
Okay, I want my kid to be able to make more money than I did. I think that's better.
Yes.
Okay, I want my kid to have a kind of a very unique standard in the world where they're able to pursue their dreams in accordance with the morality of Christianity.
If that is your belief, I respect it. So, yeah,
It's
if
better.
that's your household.
These are all better, right?
Yeah, when the kids.
So
are
then,
in,
so
that's
then,
what I
so
get.
then, by this standard, then what's worse, right?
I think it depends on the paradigms within a family and what that family expects of their children. Like, for example, my mom has been supporting every step of the way. I actually asked her before I started. I said, hey, this is really important to me. I need your approval before I start this. Like,
What about your dad?
I don't have any access to him at all. He wanted me aborted, so he just stopped contact.
So fatherless home, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that Chase used to say this a lot when he'd be on the program, that he associated fatherlessness with sex work. And I think that there's a lot of truth to that, because if you look at sex workers come from single mom families, it's pretty overwhelmingly high, right? I think that generally speaking, it seems to be the dads who put the kibosh on that, right? They don't want their daughters to engage in that. Like, I think from the perspective of a father, it's like revolting to them, right? It's just totally revolting.
Oh yeah, no, I would hope so.
Yeah.
Shit, I don't want my dad to be. I don't have a dad either. He's in prison. But
yeah, there's a theme here tonight.
But like, if my dad were like all like happy and stuff about like my own, I feel like I'd be very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That would be really weird. I don't know. My grandma and grandpa, they don't.
I don't know. Why is
like
it less weird for your mom to be supportive, though?
My mom's weird. I think it's weird. Oh, I think it's weird.
Isn't
My
that?
mom
I
is
mean,
weird.
but you see what I'm saying?
My
Like,
mom's
why is it?
super
Would it be
weird.
less weird for the mom to be supportive than the dad to be supportive? To me, it's like
Make that
equally.
bad.
It should
I
be
don't know.
equally
If my
revolting
kid
to
has
both.
one, just
I would
don't
think.
tell me. I don't want to know about it. And if other people talk to me about it, I'd say, "Why are you're weird for telling me that?"
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to know that about my kid.
Yeah.
Like, it's none of my business, personally. I just don't hurt yourself. I feel like I'd be a little sad if it was like I don't have any issue with ours, but like